order for let's spill the tea. Aw,
And here we have our new Animal Crossing character.
Hey,
What
what's
up?
up? I'm eating a cookie cake.
Yay, cookie cake.
I had salsa chicken for dinner in case anyone wanted to know.
Oh, I don't think it's a local thing. BJ's Brewhouse. I'm getting that for dinner tonight.
No, it's not because I saw one in Texas.
I was gonna say I think they're all over the nation. So I think we're good. I don't have to bleep that out. I'm pretty because of the amount of ads I've seen for it. I think we're good.
You can also get it on use gift cards for it.
Yes.
Like on a generic, there's you can use this at blank blank blank, and they wouldn't have
Right.
beaches on there if it was only
if it was
one.
only the one, yeah. All right. Well, Corey, what's your tea?
It was my birthday the other day.
Yay!
And now I'm old.
We really got to keep track of what days we record and what episodes come out so we can actually do birthday episodes.
Yeah. I
Whoopsies.
mean, it didn't come out on my birthday anyway, so it's whatever.
No, it came out the day after, but still.
I got...
Oh my god, we're going over the birthday presents. Yours has not been shipped yet, by the way. The one for me.
A chargeable water gun that shoots like a laser.
Yo, bro, we're gonna go fucking ham this summer.
I also got
You got comfy new chair.
I did get this chair. This was from my parents, though. It has a little teddy.
I love it.
Can you even see it?
Yes, I can.
And then, Paul got me a pink Stray Kids tote bag.
Mm.
And oh wait, hold on. Here's the tote bag. It's just the logo.
I love it
But
though.
this is so freaking cute.
Well, thank God I didn't get anything like that for you.
But I still would have used it though.
Oh, I know. If you had two of them, you'd be like, this is perfect. No.
Double fisting my Hyunjin bags.
I will say, one of the two things I got you, like I said, it's going to be two separate boxes. They should be there within the next week or so.
Swag.
One of them I do not know the contents of the box. So it's going to be a surprise for both of us.
Okay.
You'll know when you see it.
Yeah.
Why? I did label them as gifts, so hopefully it's discreet packaging.
Swag. If it's not, then that sucks, but it's fine.
Honestly, my mom really likes these popcorns, like the puffed popcorn.
Yeah.
Like airy thing. So I got her popcorn for Christmas one year, like a big variety box. The box literally said the brand of it, and I'm just like, I think it's called like Air or something. My mom loves them. And so I was like, I gotta get this box before she sees it. And then she saw the box and I was like, fuck. Anyway. Hopefully, I don't see why it wouldn't be discreet packaging. And if it wasn't, it's not gonna tell you what's inside of it. Probably just the theme.
Yeah, maybe.
One of them you're gonna really like. One of them you're really gonna like. The other one you're also really gonna like, but
I got
in a different way.
Tamagotchi Life too.
You got Tamagotchi Life?
I did, and I love it so much.
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna come to your house soon, and we are going to be playing that for hours and making people fall in love that should not fall in love.
I fear I'm making in real life people though in mine, because if you have two Switch accounts, there's one for me and then one for Paul. I can go on Paul's and make a totally different island.
It's not like Animal Crossing.
Yeah. So mine has real life people, and my other one is gonna have a lot of random people. I have a list of people I want to make.
Okay. Gotcha. I don't start it until I am there though. Like the real
Okay.
life one, that's fine. But
You're in the real life
I
one.
figure, are we labeled as siblings, or are you letting like us fly free, and if we
No,
fall in love,
I'm
we
letting-
fall in love?
I'm letting everything go free. It's
Unless it
fine
is
because
family, but-
Paul's me rejected me.
Was he there when this happened? Like,
No.
did he witness
right
it?
after, it was yesterday.
Oh my god.
And I sent him the video, but my sim fell back in love with him. Or my
Not your
me.
sim. I was gonna say your
My
me.
me. My
Oh
me
my
fell back in
God.
love with him. His me thinks we're best friends. And then
Oh.
I have Yi in my game. Yi thought that he had a or thought that she what? Yi thought that he had a crush on her and I said no.
Oh my god.
And then I made her boyfriend so that she stopped trying to take Paul.
Damn. All right. Shit.
I am making Jackson. Hello, Jackson. Jackson will be my next me.
Oh. Okay. Do you need reference photos? I'm kidding, but I doubt
do.
you do. Oh shit. Okay.
I want reference photos.
we do need to hang out
But
too.
yeah. It's just you, like I said earlier, you live so much farther than like my other friends. I feel bad. Like when either of us drive like 2 hours to hang out for like an hour.
Yeah, that's never happening. Oh, you gonna ask me any questions? Oh, sorry. Are you drinking tea? I forgot to ask if you have the drink.
No, just have water.
Hydrate, bitch. It's so fucking hot out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was gonna say, I know you're enjoying cookie cake right now, but you
Yeah,
do
sorry,
have a
I was eating. Do you have either literal or metaphorical tea?
Yes and yes. First of all, it's not tea, but I wanted to try a drink on the pod.
Okay.
It is Hawaiian Sun Passion Orange. I got it at H Mart. So it's a passion fruit and orange juice drink.
Okay, fair. My last bite of cookie cake.
Oh, bye-bye cookie cake. All right, do you think I'm going to like it or hate it?
Like it.
I'm indifferent. Don't love it, don't
Okay.
hate it.
Also,
Like, I'll
by the
drink-
way, that Warhead soda was so weird.
Yeah, I got, this was like a Christmas or two ago, I can't remember. But I got what I thought was a normal snack box of just like a variety of like interesting snacks. It turned out it was a sour snack box, and Sky was not a very big sour person. So that Warhead soda was the one drink it came with.
Oh.
And they were like, I'm not drinking that shit. And I don't blame them. But my tea is a few hours ago. I got an email from that third job I was interviewing for. Finally, 3 weeks after the goddamn interview. They decided to go a different route.
At least you got an email.
Fucking finally, though.
The
Like,
thing is that I interviewed like 2 other places and I never got an email.
yeah, I was at the point where I'm like, all right, I don't have the fucking job. I already came to terms with that, but it's like still fucking annoying.
You should still email.
Yeah, at least they did. I got it today, and it's not
Yeah.
like it was the one local job that I applied for because there was nothing over here in my industry. So,
I want more chips.
no. You have to watch your salt too.
I'm supposed to have as much salt as possible.
Oh shit,
Actually.
really?
Yeah.
You can have some when we're done recording because we should only be here for an hour. I have a short story today.
Okay.
Not short, but long, but a lot of speculation. So we might
Okay.
banter a bit. Today, I have a cold case.
Oh God.
We are going to talk about Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon.
Hell. Who?
Are you saying who or hell?
Who?
Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon.
Who the fuck is that?
Well, would you like me to share the story so you know?
Hell. Hell, Peter. Sorry.
All right. I'm gonna just there will be a trigger warning. I will give you the trigger warning before I say the thing that needs a warning. But this is later on in the story. I just want to give you a heads up.
Okay.
There also may be some words I do not know, as we are in the Netherlands and Panama. So.
And Panama?
You'll know why we moved to a different place. Don't worry.
Fine.
So, Kremers was born on August 9th, 1992, and Froon was born September 24th, 1991, both in Amersfoort, Netherlands. I really hope I'm saying these cities right. Kremers was known to be open, creative, and responsible. She graduated with a degree in cultural social education, specializing in art education at the University of Utrecht. Again, I don't know the language. I'm so sorry. Froon was known to be aspiring, optimistic, intelligent, and passionate. She played volleyball as well. She graduated with a degree in applied psychology from Deventer. Before a graduation trip to Panama, the girls had moved in together and worked at a cafe called In den Kleinen Hap.
What?
In den Kleinen Hap.
Good
I'm trying. So they saved up for 6 months to go on this special holiday graduation trip. They wanted to learn Spanish and do something significant for the locals, like volunteering with children.
Oh, that's sweet.
They are very sweet girls. So they arrived in Panama on March 15th, 2014. I was in 5th grade.
Then I was in 4th.
We were little. So they toured the country for 2 weeks before arriving in Boquete, Chiriquí, on March 29th to live with a family for a month while volunteering with children. On April 1st, the girls decided to go on a hike on the El Pianista Trail. It's really sad that this happened on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know
what it is, but...
Oh, just wait. I don't know if April Fool's Day is a thing that happens in other countries, but...
I have no clue, actually.
If it is, it's a really sad choice of day. So, they left around 11 a.m., and some sources are saying this is a pretty easy trail, like, nothing bad's gonna happen, right? Right? Yeah, wrong. On the morning of April 2nd, the girls never appeared for an appointment with a local guide. Their host family was now really worried because they never came home. They were thinking, oh, they're just going to spend the whole day like out in the wilderness enjoying the outdoors and whatnot. So they were like, we're probably going to go to sleep before them. It's fine. They'll get home when they get home. So when they never came back the next morning, that's when the worry began. And their parents back home were also contacted. On April 6th, the girls' parents arrived in Panama with police, dog units, and detectives from the Netherlands. They offered $30,000 US for any information. If I had any information, I wouldn't even care about the money. I would just want to help find them. But $30,000 is like big reward. So they searched for 10 days. And could not find any trace of them at all.
They just disappeared off the face of the planet?
Pretty much. Up until 10 weeks later on June 14th. A local woman found
That's Paul's birthday, sorry.
Well, on Paul's birthday, how old would he have been in 2014? Older than us.
How old are you in 5th grade?
11.
So he would have been...
He would have been, what, 15?
15.
Damn, bro was in high school.
Yeah. On
Paul's 15th birthday, June 14th, 2014. Happy birthday, Paul. A local woman found Froon's backpack by a riverbank near the village Alto Romero in the Bocas del Toro province. It literally, all that was in this backpack was 2 pairs of sunglasses, Froon's insurance card, $88 US, 2 bras, both of their phones, and Froon's Canon PowerShot SX270 digital camera. I'm still confused about the bras.
Maybe there were.
Why were there bras in there?
Honestly, probably something sad.
I'm gonna tell you there is no answer. We do not know why. So let's talk about the phones really quick. They were able to detect phone calls made and when their phones were turned on and off. It really like gave us a little bit of events going on.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 hours into their hike, one of the phones was used to dial emergency services, both 911 and 112. So both Panama and the Netherlands.
Okay.
So there were 77 total attempts to call police over the course of this time. And only one call made contact but dropped after the first 2 seconds. So it's like,
But aren't they still supposed to try and track it?
that's what they were doing. Is
Oh.
if the calls never go through, if you don't have signal, there is no way to track it.
Yeah, but those 2 seconds.
Those
they had
2 seconds.
Signal for 2 seconds.
But if no one answered,
Yeah.
then the call is just dropped and gone. They source it through cell phone towers. So
Yeah, I thought you meant that like somebody answered and then.
no, literally like ring drop. That it literally.
Sad.
So the first call was on Kremers' phone at 4:39 p.m. and she had an iPhone 4. If you were curious.
Oh, I was so curious.
Yeah. The second call was on Froon's Samsung Galaxy S3 at 4:51 p.m. None of these calls went through except for that one for 2 seconds due to lack of reception. They're in the middle of the rainforest, like.
Yeah.
So on April 4th, Froon's phone battery died after 5 a.m. and was never used again. So, like, we believe it just died, but it basically, we just know it was shut off and never turned back on. Kremers was actually turned on and off multiple times searching for reception. So, like, she would turn it on for like 2 minutes, then turn it off to save the battery.
Yeah.
Between April 5th and 11th, the phone turned on without ever entering the PIN or using the wrong PIN multiple times, which the wrong PIN one, I'm going to bring up later when we go over theories.
Okay.
Especially like my own theory and what I think happened. Because
Yeah.
whenever we have a cold case, we like to speculate. Because this is our 3rd cold case, I believe. Right? Ramsey,
I think so.
Dahlia, and then, yeah. So, on April 11th, it was turned on at 10:51 a.m. and turned off for the last time at 11:56 a.m. So, also not entering the PIN, you can still dial emergency services without using the PIN.
Yeah.
So that was probably what she was doing, was trying to just turning it off when they were at a loss. So now we're going to discuss the camera, Froon's camera. On April 8th, 90 flash photos were taken between 1 a.m. and somewhere in between 3 and 4 a.m. Using the camera deep in the jungle in a near complete darkness type of setting. Somewhere near a river or ravine. There was a picture of a twig with plastic bags on a rock. Another picture was a backpack strap and a mirror on another rock. And there was even one of the back of Kremers' head with blood. Maybe just to document an injury.
Maybe.
I don't know. You just see like a head full of hair and like just like a small wound. It's not crazy.
Okay.
Authorities began investigating the area further at this point. Once this backpack was found, they were like, all right, this is a sign. We got to like go back and look into this case more.
Yeah.
So they found Kremers' clothing neatly folded on the edge of the Colubre River, which is kind of sus. But
Okay.
But to be fair, when say she fell in the river and it was a very cold day, you want to take your clothes off when you're starting to deal with effects of hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why. And I don't know why it was folded, but I would have just thrown it.
Know. Yeah, me too.
So 2 months later, a discovery was made. And this is where the trigger warning is going to come in.
Okay.
They discovered a pelvic bone and a foot still inside of its boot.
Okay.
And these both belong to Froon.
Oh. Okay.
And it's only going to get worse from here.
Okay.
Soon after, both bodies were officially discovered. Froons were seemingly decomposing naturally as some of the bits of flesh were still attached.
Okay.
But Kremers' bones were very white, almost as if they were bleached.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is not natural decomposition. You can't even say sun bleaching in this case.
No.
So they questioned locals, but there was no further evidence and there was no cause of death known. Because at this point, bones have been destroyed and yeah. So there's some theories. Maybe there was an accident in the mountains, such as an injury. Maybe they lost their way, a natural disaster, like like a landslide. I personally think not.
Okay.
Others suspect a possible animal attack. In this region, it is known of large cats killing horses.
Okay.
And someone reported an attack of wild pigs.
Wild pigs.
Wild pigs.
You know what? Fair.
It's possible. It is possible. I think not. There's another theory, third-party involvement, such as a murder of convenience or a serial killer. And then there was the last theory I have listed here is possible disorientation, such as a natural cause to deter from the trail, such like, I don't know, like a mushroom exploded or something. Like
a mushroom exploded.
I don't
it just
know.
went kaplooey. Huzzah.
Listen, if you step on fungus, like a mushroom,
yeah,
like sometimes the spores just get into the air.
Okay, fair. But it was just the way you said exploded.
I know, I'm sorry. So many online discussions were brought up, such as when it comes to the phone logs, why the calls were made at certain intervals. I could probably answer that. They were trying to conserve battery, and it was just, okay, you can tell the time of day by where the sun is, so maybe that did it. Why didn't they take photos with location markers? I think that's what they were doing with the camera, personally. And so they were saying, okay, we put stuff here, we put stuff there, like, why the activity stopped after day 10, because I think it was Kremers' phone, it didn't just die, it was turned off.
Mm-hmm.
So it still had battery, but I think at that point they just kind of gave up. That's my theory.
Probably.
We don't know. We're never going to know. So the trail landscape. The trail has hikers daily, even in the off season. It's impossible to not be found unless you strayed very far off the path.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that they deviated for safety, or were they forced to take a detour, like such as an animal or a person coming to attack them?
Yeah.
Um, and then we're gonna go back to the camera really quick with photo number 509.
Okay.
This is the deleted or missing photo.
Okay.
Some suggest a third party deleted it to hide certain evidence. It is possible because you could just go in the camera and delete it. It's not like there's a pin like a phone.
Yeah.
Um, it's possible it was a technical error, like it was deleted by accident. But usually, like a confirmation comes up. Are you sure you want to delete?
Yeah.
And there is no clue what could be in this photo. It could be like literally the photo that solves the case for all we know, or it's just some signal, some marker, like could be nothing. Could be another photo of her head with a wound, like
It could be.
could literally be anything. So there was some criticism towards the police behavior and the search in general, which in a lot of these cases there usually is. It's possible that the evidence was mishandled. The backpack was poorly analyzed, and locals were barely questioned. They didn't really, because tourists
Yeah,
go
they
on the
don't
trail all the
care.
time. And there's no way to keep track of everyone who was there that day. There's no logs.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of hard.
exactly. So this case was actually reignited back in September
Of this year?
of
Well,
of
of
2025. Yeah.
Okay.
So new details of because now they actually went back into the backpack and they were like, okay, let's look more into this. New details of the backpack showed the girls only carried essential items to get them through the day, such as 2 bottles of water, the camera, their sunglasses, a key, and the insurance papers for emergencies. There was no flashlight, water filter, first aid, or survival gear. So, like, it just shows that they only wanted to be there for the day. Like, they weren't planning on being there long. So, the night photos actually showed a map and daily snacks like Pringles and whatnot. I think actually one of them was a Pringles can.
Okay.
Pringles sponsor? No, I'm kidding. Not the way you want to be sponsored.
Yeah, maybe not.
It basically, yeah, like I said, it shows that they didn't plan to stay long. Like they were going to be back at night. So this proves that the trail can be completed in a day as they did their research. And it's hard to get lost forever unless something stopped you from getting out of the forest or jungle. I think they called it a jungle. So in the daytime photos, the girls are relaxed and smiling and they're ready to go on their walk, you know? This is an expected short hike, like only a few hours.
Okay.
Maybe like because what, they left at like lunchtime, they would have been back for dinner. So it's also possible that the nighttime photos could have been light signals and not just photos for markers. Because the flash trying to like get someone's attention. That I firmly believe that as well. It sounds like they were trying to survive.
Yeah.
So, and the objects were probably location markers, like the trash bag or whatever it was, the stick. And so they knew if they were going in circles or not. The phones show that they did fight to survive. I mean, literally 77 calls. I think that's trying to live.
Yeah.
So with the case reigniting, there was no new hard evidence, but the case is not closed, and online communities continue to speculate what happened to these girls. It's a cold case as it has been 12 years at this point, but they're not closing it. So as time goes on, new inventions will be made to make DNA analysis a lot easier. But there are a few things that get me that not a lot of people were discussing as well, such as the bones.
Yeah.
the bleach white bones. How is that even possible? Especially if like you're in the wilderness, you're not going to get as much sunlight for that to happen, and it would be like splotchy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they searched that area where the backpack was found in the initial investigation and the initial search, how did it just show up?
Yeah.
I don't want to say you could say I'm biased because I'm a true crime content creator.
I don't think it was an animal. I think it was a human.
Yes, I firmly agree.
A human killed them.
Whether it was convenience, an accident, a serial killer, we do not know, but I firmly believe it was a third party. I believe that theory. There is just too much to look at that it can't be an animal.
The only thing that, like, if it was, like, a third party, like, they were taking pictures for, like, how long? They were there for, like, how long? Like, did they get lost and then get encountered, like,
Yeah,
later
that's what I'm saying. It probably started off as something deterring you from the trail, like,
Yeah.
they could have escaped, and then, I think you could say it's like two theories in one kind of thing, where they did just deter from the trail, a natural disaster occurred, like a landslide.
Yeah.
But there has to be a third party involved, and there's no way of knowing because it's the fucking jungle.
Yeah.
I think at least, what was it? It was Kremers. Yes. At least Kremer had to have been the victim of a third party. Froon, due to her natural decomposition, it is possible that it could have been just starvation, dehydration. Or she was killed too, and they just disposed of her differently. And that's not nice to say, but that is the cold case of Kremers and Froon.
So sad.
It is sad, and the fact that at this point, I don't think it's going to get solved, at least for like until new things are invented, and I don't think any new discovery is going to be made at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have analyzed the bones a bit more.
I mean,
like getting an
You can tell just by looking at them, though, like if there was any like kind of force at all or anything.
Also, like when her head trauma.
Yeah, like if you don't have food, like I mean, if you don't have like flesh, then like if the flesh was already decomposed enough that you only have bones, the only thing you can really get is if there was enough like trauma to cause bone injuries.
Yeah.
So like they would never really know. Like if she had cuts, if she had like gashes, if she had any of this, the only thing they would really know is if she had broken bones.
Yes. But I think at least because we knew that Kremers had a head injury, should have been looked into. But if her skull was already in pieces or something, like
I was gonna say, could they find her skull though? Because like if they don't find her skull and if it's not intact, there's only so much they can do.
Right.
Like
I think they found enough skeletal remains to say that they had a skeleton, but I don't think they found every little piece.
Probably not.
Because especially if the pelvic bone was separate, scavengers, like...
Yeah. There's a lot of things they could have taken it.
There's so many things that... Trying to get information on this case, it was kind of like the same things over and over again on each link.
Yeah.
And it was just... Seriously? Like... There's no information. What investigation was done?
Basically nothing, because they didn't care. And like it's really sad to say, but like they were tourists in another country. They don't care.
It's a sad truth.
They're like a lot of places have the mentality, like maybe like some like people that live in America have that mentality as well, but there's a lot of tourists that come to America.
Listen, if the crime happens here, like, it should be investigated because that means something happened.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
What I'm saying is like the mentality here, like people care. I feel like sometimes
They
care a
care
little bit
less,
more.
usually,
But like
though.
when it's a tourist, especially like in another country that like, you know, Panama's like small, like in the grand scheme of like the world. Like they're not gonna care about two high school tourists.
College graduates.
Two college graduates that were tourists in their country or their place.
It's a shame. It really is a shame.
Sad.
Breaks
And they
my
just
heart,
they just went poof into thin air.
Literally,
like
we know they were alive for at least 10 days.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they really like one of them could have honestly just died of starvation. Like it's 10 days. Like they could have died of dehydration if they couldn't find any water.
They only had 2 bottles of water and like minimal snacks. Of course, dehydration and starvation. Then they could have gotten a little loopy.
A little loopy whoopy.
A little
Maybe she fell and hurt her head.
Exactly. Like she could have just fallen on a rock. They had pictures of rocks.
She got loopy because she had not a lot of food, not a lot of water. It's hot there. She fell, hit her head on a rock. There's so many theories that people could come up with, and I feel like they just don't even care.
And I'm gonna tell you flat out, they do not. It was nice that they checked back in, like what,
great
10 years later,
but like almost any evidence that could actually help you solve it is long fucking gone. Like
exactly. But that's a nice little cold case I wanted to hit you with. I didn't want to do a long one today because I have plans after this.
Yeah. Mine's about the average length of all of mine.
Okay.
Mine tend to be around the same.
I know you were nervous because you haven't had time to do notes, which you were talking about gaming tonight. You could sit and like do like half a story for like an hour.
I mean, the only thing is my brain is not even
I know the feeling.
My brain was barely even comprehending the words coming out of your mouth. So
valid. I have one more.
Well, it's because we did crisis.
Yeah, you did
crisis prevention. So like that's a lot of information at once. Plus you're doing hands-on training and like you have to do the hands-on and everything.
Yes.
So my brain no worky.
Listen, I have one more backup story. And it's a long one, I'm gonna be honest. But I remember like sitting there doing these notes and I'm like, I just have no interest.
Yeah. No.
And the one I'm doing now, I am totally interested in. I'm just not interested in doing the work for it.
That's how I feel about almost everything on my list. I'm like, I'm so interested in this, but I'm
about to start relying on other podcasts and documentaries for this one. Because to be fair, I'm gonna type up these notes first because it's another serial killer I'm working on right now. And this one's like insane. Like,
oh, I wanna know.
I can't tell you yet, but he does have a nickname. But
without my serial killer coloring book,
I don't think he's gonna be in there. I think if you had like the alphabet one, nope. Even with his nickname, nope. Every single initial in his name is taken by someone bigger.
What? But like what like country?
England. Great Britain. Like it's not Jack the Ripper.
I was gonna say he's not popular, so it can't be Jack the Ripper.
Don't try to guess. I don't know what I'm doing this story. Like it could be like 2 months until I do this story, bro.
Oh, fine.
Because on like Friday, I plan on sitting down and like pounding out multiple stories. Like there was one day I did 2 cases and a serial killer in one day in like 4 hours.
Damn.
Okay.
You have stuff to do with Jackson. I'm just gonna start going now.
Just gonna leave. Bye.
Okay, so we're going back in time again.
Ooh, we're gonna go back in time next week.
Yeah, we're gonna go back in time to like long.
Oh,
So
are we talking like 1600s, bro? 1200s? 1400s?
the 1500s.
Ah, so close. You should have told me I was close with 16, then I wouldn't have jumped so far.
It's okay. Honestly, I'm sorry if you don't like history, you or the listeners, because
we gotta go over history.
A big chunk of this is history.
Bro,
I
history
promise
was
it
the
matters.
one class I got like hundreds in, all right?
Like, I promise it matters. Like, I'm not just going on a rant about history for no reason, but a big chunk is just history, because that's basically the entire story. So, okay. You're probably going to figure out what it is, like, really soon.
So do you want me to just blurt out what it is when I know?
If you think you know what it is, you can tell me.
Okay.
So
let's see how quickly I can get it.
I do say it, like, before I say it. Do you know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out.
Gotcha.
So, in the late 1500s, England was behind Spain and Portugal in overseas empire building. That's just context. Spain already had conquered huge parts of the Americas. It had enormous wealth, and it had fortified colonies.
Damn.
Queen Elizabeth I wanted England to compete with Spain. So they set a goal, and they're like, we're going to set sail and find new land to inhabit. So they wanted to establish an English foothold in North America. They wanted to attack and harass Spanish treasure fleets, search for resources and other trade routes, and spread the Protestant English influence. So England imagined North America to be like a place of abundance and opportunity. So they were like, we're going to go here and get everything.
That's funny.
Yeah, they were like, we're going to get everything we need from the Americas.
No, you're not.
Plot twist, you do not. But one of the major figures that was pushing colonization was Sir Walter Raleigh. In 1584, Raleigh sent explorers to scout the Atlantic coast.
Is it Roanoke? Yeah! I was like thinking, I'm like, I know it.
That's why when you said your like girls just kind of poofed off it like into thin air, I was like, how did you know? I was like, how did you know?
There was an American Horror. I have to bring this up every time. There was an American Horror Story season 6, Roanoke, my least favorite season.
Well, sorry.
No, it's a season I think you can handle. Like, content-wise.
I feel like I could handle a lot of them except for the circus one.
You definitely can.
It's just, I don't like have the interest to sit down and watch it. I feel like I would need somebody to put on the episode for me, and then I'd be like probably hooked. But like if somebody doesn't do it for me, I'm never gonna watch it.
Well, the next time we hang out and we need background noise while I'm building your thingy that I bought for you as a present, and you're still making me build, you'll just stare at that as I shout numbers at you, and I'm like, Corey, I need this one.
Okay. Anyway,
when it comes to the circus one, you can like skip the first few episodes, and you'll still be fine.
I'm just not gonna watch the entire season.
That's valid. But it's just that, like, there's connections with the other seasons.
That sucks, because I won't understand.
Well, it gives you the backstory of one character in season 2, so...
It's fine. I'll just look it up. I'll look up any info.
Fine. Or I'll just give you the info, because I've watched that show so many times.
Yeah. So, in 1584, Raleigh sent explorers to scout the Atlantic coast. They reached the Outer Banks region and encountered Algonquinians. I'm surprised that I don't even know how to say that. Speaking indigenous peoples or Native Americans. 2 indigenous men from this area were brought back to England. Their names were Montejo and Wanchis. So Montejo became friendly with the English and later helped. He was a translator. He was an intermediary, so he was very important. And Wanchis became distrustful and eventually opposed to them. So that's just history, you know. In 1584, they returned back with more English settlers. So the first actual colony was military in nature. So obviously the military, for what we know now, did not exist back then, but it was their version. So this military was led by Ralph Lane, and around 100 men established a fortified outpost on Roanoke Island. There were a lot of problems with the first colony. So the English arrived expecting there to be easy farming, easy trade, and a rapid self-sufficiency. But they lacked local agricultural knowledge, their supplies ran short very fast, and the relations with the nearby Native American groups declined very rapidly. The English increasingly depended on indigenous food sources, and then that created a bunch of tension because the local communities were already kind of struggling with food as it was. So they were not happy with the fact that the English were there. So at the time, the English tended to expect centralized authority, assume alliances were stable, and interpret diplomacy through European ideas. Obviously, because they're European.
Yeah.
But the coastal Carolina societies of the time were a lot more decentralized. They were very fluid. And the English would often react aggressively when trade or diplomacy like broke down. So like the English was getting aggressive with the bitches that have been there since the beginning. That does not work in your favor.
No, it does not.
But at one point, Lane attacked the village of Chief Wingina, whom the English suspected of plotting against them, and Wingina was killed.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, which destroyed any possibility of long-term trust between the English and the Native Americans. I promise this matters. This context of history matters.
Like, I know enough about the context of Roanoke that the history in this is really, really important.
So then, this is when modern historians say that the turning point happened. Because before then, they were like, yeah, we don't like the English. Like, they're kind of leeching off of us for our resources, but understandable. They came to a new land. They don't really understand how the land works and everything. But then after they killed him, they were like, yeah, fuck you, Englishmen. Like, you fucking, like, killed our chief. You're leeching off our resources and blah, 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 blah. So now they're mad.
Yep.
So with this, the Native Americans were like, we're taking our resources. You're not getting food from us. You're not getting this. So the English settlement became desperate. And like as they were becoming desperate, an English privateer, Francis Drake, arrived after going on some Caribbean raids.
That name is oddly familiar.
Francis Drake. Anyway, the colonists abandoned the first Roanoke colony and sailed home back to England with Drake in 1586. So, so they went from England to America, and they were like, hey, Native Americans, give us your resources. And they were chill. But then they killed their chief, and the Native Americans said, fuck you. They became desperate and then went back home to England. That was the first colony.
Yes.
That was the first one. But Queen Elizabeth I was desperate. She wanted to get to America. She wanted to compete with Spain for having the most amount of land. So they tried again. The second colony came in 1587. This is the one that is the famous Lost Colony. So this time, the colony was meant to be civilian and permanent. It was not military in nature like the first one. They were meant to live here. The governor was John White. Wow, you're white. Sorry.
That was so bad.
I just thought, like, my brain said it. Like, I thought it and it came out. I didn't mean to make that joke.
God. We're the loopy ones today.
Fine. I stepped on a mushroom.
Totally. At your training, yeah. Your crisis prevention training.
They had to know how to get me back to homeostasis after I step on a mushroom. And they didn't work. It didn't work. They didn't know
you're
how.
still getting the effects of it.
But within this second colony, there were about 115 settlers that consisted of families and children, not just men, not just people in the military, which suggests that England intended true colonization. Like, they weren't planning on, like, uprooting. They were meant to be in this place for a long time. They would not bring families and children and all that stuff over if they did not want to make a life there. Because then that's just bringing the women and children over there for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this colony, we have the first known English-born child in North America named Virginia Dare. That's just a fun fact.
Okay.
But the settlers were supposed to establish themselves farther north in the Chesapeake region, but circumstances pushed them back onto Roanoke Island, which was already damaged from the prior conflict with the Native Americans. So they did not want to provide them with resources when the second colony came.
Mm-hmm.
The second colony went on to Roanoke Island and they were like, hey, we just got here. Can you help us learn how to grow corn? And the Native Americans were like, no, fuck you. You killed our chief. And they were like, this wasn't us. And they were like, but it was the English, so we don't trust you anymore. So the colony immediately had supply shortages. They had no clue when to plant different like foods, so they were not getting like good crops. They had a lot of isolation as well, which doesn't sound important, but like isolation is so like important.
Mm-hmm.
The settlers begged John White to return to England for supplies. He did agree. So he sailed back to England in 1587. But England became faced with a possible invasion from Spain. So the Spanish Armada consumed all of the English resources. Ships were commanded for the war, and White could not return. He was delayed for nearly 3 years.
Damn. It was that long?
Yeah. It took him almost 3 years to get back. But he went back for his settlers.
Yeah.
He did go back for them, but in 3 years, a lot can happen.
Exactly.
Like, and they're overseas in the 1500s. There's no, like, way to get a letter across the water.
Yeah, no.
So there's a chance that these settlers thought that John White abandoned them.
Exactly.
Because they're also the only English colony.
Mm-hmm.
They have no way of knowing what's going on in Spain or England.
Literally.
Like, I would think that my governor abandoned me, too.
Mm-hmm.
If it took him 3 years to get to me. But when White finally returned, the colony was deserted. Buildings were dismantled. Like, not broken. Like, they had taken the buildings down.
Yeah.
There were no human remains. So no one died and just, like, left the bones there.
Nobody
there was no
died.
Remains. There was no graves. He saw literally nothing. No signs of battle. It was just bare.
Damn, is this the first time you shared a story and no one died?
Yeah.
21 episodes in.
No, somebody did die.
Oh, shit. You're right. No, someone did die.
The chief died.
The chief died. My bad.
That has nothing to do with the story. It was just to say, like, fuck
it was
you.
Timeline of events.
Yeah. There was only one clear clue, which I'm pretty sure almost everybody knows. Mm-hmm. But it was the word Croatoan carved into a post. It was not a tree, like people think. It was a post that was left from the English settlers. The one thing they didn't take down.
Yes.
So this mattered because White and the colonists had agreed that if they moved, they would leave a message. Mm-hmm. If they were under attack, they were supposed to carve a Maltese cross into whatever they like carved into. Mm-hmm. But there was no cross. So he assumed there was no attack. But he had no clue what the word Croatoan meant. This suggests that the departure was organized. They did it on purpose, probably because they thought that their governor abandoned them.
Exactly.
And it was not a massacre. Because there was no graves,
no
no bones, nothing. So, the one thing that we do know about the word Croatoan is that it referred to an island south of Roanoke, which included the indigenous Croatoan people.
Yes.
Monteo from before was Croatoan.
Mm-hmm.
So White actually wanted to search there first, but there were a bunch of storms and the ship crews were like, we're not going out there during a storm. So he could never go to Croatoan, like the Croatoan Islands. So the one place that they were most likely to be, he never got to search.
Damn.
They could have found the English settlers, but the storms prevented it. Imagine, then we wouldn't have Roanoke, the Lost Colony. If he could just get to Croatoan, maybe that's where they really were.
I firmly believe it.
Probably. But in the 1900s, we skipped forward. Tree ring studies revealed the region experienced one of the worst droughts in centuries from the years 1587 to 1589, which is when John White was back in England.
Yep.
Which obviously changed the interpretation a lot because it meant that crops were failing, way more severely than before. Indigenous communities themselves were probably struggling, even with the knowledge of how to grow on that land.
Yeah.
And food trade would have been a lot harder. So the colonists probably became unsustainable very quickly. And the drought theory does not necessarily explain the disappearance alone, but it is a factor into why they might have relocated.
Yes.
So before I say my theories, because that's basically the end, what do you think?
I believe, okay, so the carving in the post, it had to have been the message saying, hey, we're going to Croatoan Island. This is where you can find us.
I think that's probably where they were. And I think if he could have gotten to the islands.
Yeah, if he had gotten there, he would have found them.
And it's the most logical theory.
And the fact that it was all dismantled, they probably scrapped the buildings for parts and brought it with them.
Well, yeah, because they don't want to leach that bad.
Yeah.
But
they already felt bad enough-ish.
That's definitely what happened, though. But there's obviously still theories.
Yes.
So obviously this is considered a mystery.
Yes.
In nature, it's not paranormal, but I consider it paranormal for the purposes of this podcast because some people have theories. Some people have theories that are more supernatural in.
Yes.
They
were cursed.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's one of them. So one of the more logical theories is the assimilation theory. This is the historical leading theory. Historians believe this theory that the colonists probably dispersed and joined the local friendly indigenous tribes. They intermarried, had kids with Native Americans, and their English identity was gradually lost to time. So they did find English artifacts in indigenous settlements from that time. There were reports of Native American groups with gray eyes or English-style customs, which gray eyes is not biologically from Native Americans.
Correct.
It does not trace back in that lineage. There were oral histories of settlements around that time, combining into Native American tribes. And there was metalworking remnants, and Native Americans at that time did not do metalworking. That was not part of what they did. So if there was metalworking remnants in a Native American tribe, it was from the English settlers. There was a lot of disease, though, a lot of war, forced displacement, so it's hard to find clear evidence. But that's the leading theory, which is basically our theory that they went to Croatoan and they just intermarried, had kids, did their thing. There is the Site X theory. So this is the only really established theory in like reality. And this is coming from when researchers studied a map that John White had, and there was a hidden symbol beneath like a patch.
Mm-hmm.
And it appeared to indicate like a possible like fort location. And they thought that that's might be where the colonists went. And when they went to that site, they found English pottery, gun-related materials, and other 16th century artifacts from England.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have been there. But we don't know if that's from the English settlers or from the first colony. We don't really know. There's not really definitive proof, as I said, because the Outer Banks shift a lot from storms, erosions, hurricanes, rising sea levels. So any archaeological evidence is probably underwater. Like, it's probably gone.
Yeah, there's no way of discovering it now.
And the English also left really incomplete documentation. So, like, many records from the era were either lost, damaged, or just completely not even finished.
Damn.
So, like, we have no written records, really. And then, when English colonization expanded, indigenous communities were displaced, so they intermingled naturally. Roanoke later became like a really ideal material for more like gothic storytelling because an entire colony literally just vanished. There was a cryptic word carved into a post, and there was seemingly no like reason that anyone could come up with. Obviously, there's a reason. They went to another area and married Native Americans, but there's no logical explanation. So, then you have the people that believe there's no logical explanation and have the paranormal theories.
Yes, the paranormal.
So, a popular paranormal theory is the Croatoan curse. This says that the idea that Croatoan was not a destination, it was a curse, a magical warning, or an invocation of something. So the colonists disturbed a sacred land, they angered spirits, they violated indigenous taboos, or they awakened some sort of supernatural force. And then they were cursed and just died. There is a witchcraft theory that claim that witches among the colonists cursed the settlement, and indigenous shamans retaliated spiritually. And that resulted in occult rituals practiced in secret within the colony. In some stories, Virginia Dare, the girl that was like the firstborn English, was the main witch. She was a baby. She was like 2 years old. But apparently she's the mastermind.
Yes, she's a mastermind, guys. Like,
but building off of that, Virginia Dare literally became mythologized, like beyond the historical facts that we have for her because she vanished as an infant. So, like, stories portray her as a ghost, an immortal spirit, a shapeshifter. She's some sort of magical white doe, or she's some kind of guardian of the forest. There's literally a North Carolina legend that says she was transformed into a white deer by a sorcerer. Hunters accidentally killed her, and then her spirit haunted the region afterwards.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Alrighty,
the theories of Roanoke.
Mm-hmm.
There is forest spirit theories where the wilderness, consumed the colonists.
Totally.
There are a couple of alien abduction theories.
What the fuck?
These appear mainly in the late 20th century, so the claims include that they saw strange lights in the sky. There's no historical evidence that they saw strange lights in the sky.
How do you know this? Like,
I don't. They want it to be
they
true.
really want it to be a UFO, like.
Yeah, but then there's extraterrestrial interference that they believe happened, or a mass abduction. You're telling me that 100, because there were babies that were born.
Mhm.
You're telling me that like 130 people just got mass abducted by an alien?
Totally.
And why that colony? Why not any indigenous people? Why just you?
Exactly.
But there's literally no contemporary evidence whatsoever. That's literally basically just people wanting UFOs to be real.
Yeah.
We have the time slip or different dimension theory, and that's the idea that the colony crossed into another dimension, they vanished through a portal, and they entered a thin place in reality.
Okay, sweetie, whatever you want to believe.
This last theory, or not this last theory, but this theory right here is possible. I do not think that it's not possible.
Okay.
So, this is a theory about cannibalism. So the starvation drove the colonists to cannibalism.
It was
violence.
They were having issues.
Yeah. And the survivors just concealed the evidence and then intermingled with the indigenous people.
Less likely, but more possible than fucking UFOs.
I think it's the middle ground here.
Yeah.
There is no direct evidence of cannibalism from Roanoke, but it's possible. It's possible. And then there's lastly the Spanish massacre theory, where Spain considered English colonies, illegal. So Spanish forces secretly killed the settlers, hid the records, and any survivors were just integrated into Spain. Which,
all right, also up there, but under cannibalism.
Yeah. So we have like the assimilation theory, and then like the Site X theory, and then cannibalism, and then the Spanish massacre, and then everything else.
Yeah. No, I think they just fucking moved. Like,
they literally said on the post that Croatoan.
Yeah.
The Croatoan
it's not like it was
people.
Some weird word. It was a local island.
Yeah. But the brain wants a paranormal explanation. Like, Roanoke feels uncanny because it violates the expectations that like humans have. Like, normally in history you get ruins, you get graves, battlefields, documents, but Roanoke literally gives you nothing.
Nothing.
Human brains do not like unresolved stories. So the mind will just naturally create different patterns, hidden meanings, and other supernatural causes. And then the carved word of Croatoan acts as a perfect horror symbol for an already like basically mystery. Because it's cryptic. They literally just left that post just so they could carve into it. They took everything else. And it's a perfect storm of there's no evidence but this creepy fucking word. So now, the fact that they could have just gone to the Croatoan people does not exist anymore because we want an explanation.
Damn.
And that's basically Roanoke. Like I said, it was basically just a history lesson.
It really was. I feel like I was back in middle school learning about this.
But to be fair, I did tell you that I wanted to do a short one because I didn't have like a shadow.
No. I thought of this in the middle of your story and I didn't want to interrupt you. I forgot to put in with my tea today. So back when we were talking about the SPR, all right? We fucked up, apparently. We said the Society of Physical Research and not psychical.
Did we?
Oh, we did.
How did you even
My dad told
figure
me.
that out?
My dad was listening and he told me.
I mean, to be fair, you're the one who was talking about it.
Yeah, my bad.
I admit it's my fault. I was like, yeah. Like, I knew what it was. I knew what you were trying to say. But like I didn't
you were saying it too. You just followed along with it. And it's just like, fuck. Anyway. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Well, I really like that story. But no, they just moved, guys. They moved.
Did you really like the story?
Fuck you. Okay.
I was asking for real.
Yes, I actually did. I like when we go over history. I'm a history buff, I admit.
We both like history. But I feel bad when people don't.
When people don't? Yeah. Anyway, we have stuff we gotta do, so we gotta do our sign off.
So our TikTok is let's build the tea.pod. Our Instagram is lstt.pod. No, it's not. That's that's our email. Our email. The Instagram is let's build the tea-pod. There are link trees on TikTok and Instagram. And that's it.
We didn't spill a lot of tea, but we definitely spilled that tea.
We spilled what we had.
Yes, and that is all we have in ours today.
I had about an inch of tea at the bottom of my cup.
Like an ounce.
But that I had an ounce of tea at the bottom of my cup, but I did flip it upside down.
Yes.
And it
spilled everywhere.
Every single drop just
it spilled.
Came out. Okay.
That tea is definitely spilled then.
I did spill that tea.
Alrighty, bye-byes.
Okay, bye-bye.